I'm very excited for this. There's been all kinds of great tournament action, and expect this to be another enjoyable watch. Yeah, but definitely would rather get off to a 3-1 start as opposed to a 2-2 start. Be feeling a lot safer. So an important race for both racers. It's essentially life or death for Chris, but also pretty high stakes for DK. So we take a look at our stats. We've got 22 strength. Probably not going to have too hard of a time getting out of level 1, 2, 3. No spells yet. 21 HP, but not looking like the worst start unless everything has something horrible.
Indeed, and hey, hi everybody. Sorry about that. I messed up and forgot to turn my own mic on, so Hoodie could hear me, but you couldn't. It's great.
Well, yeah, and here we go. We're getting off to a start here. And what's our first item? We've got a torch. We don't need it with a 22 strength. We've got an herb. That's always nice.
Yeah, so I could see you maybe throwing a torch if you pull maybe a zone 2 enemy, but otherwise, maybe if you just really want to get through like a scorpion or something really quick. But yeah, let me know how the audio balance is. I can't really test it on my end, so chat if you would please.
We have a town and cave on screen. DK gives us the delayed Brexit as Chris is going to check what's in the shop. We've got grave.
So the wreck shop is there's a hand axe there, but it's the normal price, so it could be a little tricky. Let's see what we got here in grave. Another torch, some gold. That's hand axe money. That could be amazing. I mean, we have 22 strength. That's wonderful, but hand axe on top of that, it's almost double, you know.
And the hurt more from the gold man to say the king is in cahoots. I'm gonna take a cut of that gold.
Copper sword, buddy. Indeed. All we need is the copper sword. Jessica's getting the level 2. Decent amount of stats. Nothing too spectacular. The 10 agility is probably the winner of that, but 5 strength is nothing to scoff at. And now he has level 3.
Yep, and with the 2 torches, DK likely to get a scorpion here as well. There is a chainmail as well as the hand axe and Brecconary, so another trip in to get gold. If you can get out, you could get both of those. Might be pretty nice.
Yeah, he might actually pop in and see that and buy the chainmail and then just go back to grave. Or he might wait a level or so. We'll see. Again, Goldman isn't super hard to run from, but it's not the easiest thing, and it looks like... Okay, yeah, he changed his mind.
Yeah, just go ahead and get that chainmail and then try to get the hand axe. But just Chris, 1 XP away from the next level here, so we might get that pretty soon.
Yeah, just doing the hardcore grinding, sees the cave, does not care, wants to get as many levels as possible before he tries it. Fortunately, not able to get through that scorpion.
Yep, so this will put DK also very close to the next level, and at level 3 as well. I believe they started with an herb, so they do have access to 1 heal as of right now. They could buy more in Brecconary if they got that gold, but the Breck shop is not the most appealing shop to go to.
It's so far off, and you really don't want to do that unless you have to. See what 4 gets. Looks like 3, 4, 4. Ah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so modest gains, nothing really that impressive. So looking to get to 82 is not that bad when you've got these scorpions around. But at some point, DK is probably going to be thinking about trying to get that hand axe.
And hey, there is a red dragon with sleep in the grave. So that's fun. But weak breath, I guess, isn't too bad.
Yep, so DK doesn't know that, but that is a reason to just stay out here and not try to go back in there for that hand axe money.
Yeah, I mean, DK might be a little bit more aggressive, you know, thinking not too worried about the Goldman, although the hit points are atrocious. I don't even know why the tracker counts this as white. It should still be red. 27 is awful. Even
anytime you're like, it never feels good to be in the 30s, but when you're in the 20s, it's not. There's not a lot that you can do in the 20s.
there it is, 32, big increase. And 28 MP and no spells. That is not something you see every day.
We've only gained 10 strength from the start. We started with 22, so in the 5 levels, we've gotten about 2 strength each.
Yeah, 32 isn't bad for 5, but you were probably expecting a little bit more by now.
But for the diet of what they're looking at, fighting scorpions, which are still pretty effective to get you up to where you want to be. 32 is not bad, but once you want to get into a little bit more substantial stuff, you're going to need to get thinking about that weapon.
We've had some interesting stat gains. We had that with a 3-3-4-4 and then the 1-1-5-5. Are we going to see a 2-2-2-2 coming up?
Would be interesting, but then I'm sure for them it would be in the same situation here. I don't know if we've seen any of the racers check the horizontal or vertical zones too much yet. Maybe the stats aren't indicative of trying. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I was thinking that was maybe what DK was doing. This is still a bit tight. Like, I wish I would have my torches for this.
Yep, and with Brecconary nearby, there is a torch throw. Will be nice to get that 31. You can get fairy water and torches in Brecconary if you need to, so not a bad idea if this is kind of what it looks like the next step is.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him use some of the herbs here to keep this going too. He can win it, but it's going to take a little while. But honestly, Just Chris probably going to gain just as much experience fighting scorpions and other stuff. In the same amount of time.
Yeah, definitely not any kind of advantage for either player right now. I guess DK knows that there's gold in the grave, but you know, that's it.
All right, level 6 is 7136 Repel. Repel is useful, actually.
Yeah, because DK could get rid of that Drakey, for example, and still keep getting those Metal Scorpion encounters. So if you keep an eye on your defense, could be a real valuable tool in these early zones.
Just Chris went in. I'm not 100% sure what he was looking for, but not able to get it. I think he's going to preserve the money.
Bought some clothes.
Yeah, it's something.
DK learning that there are red dragons to go along with that gold man in the grave.
Yeah, I think if I'm DK, 23 defense, you'd be repelling scorpions, and that's not what you want. So, on the other hand, when Just Chris, you know, he could do that just fine. 15 will only block Match Drakeys and down. And oh hey, the Metal Scorpion has weak breath. It must be like a 25% pop, because he did not use that for a while.
Yeah, that's not ideal. As we see, there's a 75% hurt more red slime out there.
Just Chris goes in, gets the gold chest. Is he going to be able to get out? Finds a droll.
Could be really big to get the hand axe here.
And using Oog 37's terminology, that was a good times droll.
We know the gold man is dangerous, but gets away. DK sees another cave here.
Oh man, there's an armored knight with weak breath in here as well. The weak breath's, you know, a positive, just like the weak breath on the red dragon, but 26 agility is not good for that.
So that grave zone is screaming at you, I'm dangerous. Got a rainbow drop trade-in location for DK. I'm just trying to find something out here to change the situation a little bit. At this point, maybe fairy water and risking getting weak breath or whatever the Metal Scorpion head might be an option, but it's not looking great.
It's an expensive option, but I think you get more money from the Metal Scorpion that costs for 1 fairy water, so it's redoable. But as Chad has mentioned here, Just Chris is honing in on the hand axe money. Even though he lost half of his gold, he had a pretty nice gold roll. Plus, he had whatever he came in there with, which wasn't nothing. So we are one more Scorpion away, one Magician away. Yes, one Magician away from the hand axe.
That's going to be fantastic. And DK did spot another cave on his side, but was taken out before able to check what it was. So have to see if he's going to keep setting out looking for something, or maybe settle down a little bit again. Back into the grave, hoping for money.
This grave is awful. You have red dragons, you have armor knights, you have goldmen with hurt more, and you have Drolls. Okay. DK probably thinks he's having bad luck. Honestly, it's not like either of them have gotten out of that cave.
Yeah, Just Chris was able to get to the... I mean, they both have made it to the gold chest one time, so that seems about kind of what to expect out of that.
Yeah, it was just Chris decided to try to save the money. He was saving the money before he went in. Whereas, if DK had died and not bought the chainmail and tried to save the money, he might have eventually got there, but I don't know. It's hard to second guess that sort of stuff.
But a nice 15 attack power advantage for Chris right now. Likely to see that play some role here in the upcoming minutes.
It would be better if he got out of this zone. I mean, we don't really like the Metal Scorpion with the weak breath, but he can survive a weak breath. And he's in possible 2-shot range. I don't want to go quite as far as say probable, but
yeah. And if you can get some herbs too to be able to heal, it makes it a pretty reasonable proposition. But this will be level 7 here for Chris.
Let's see. 2, 1, 4, 17, and return. So much MP. And
yeah, we could...
What's this? This cave's been here this entire time?
I would just... Tablet has casually just been there. I'm sure it won't have anything important like the Sword of the Armor.
If there is anything important here, it does not matter when you find it. You will be immediately freaking out. So DK gets to his gold chest. Chris gets to a gold chest. It's a safe gold chest.
It's a free gold chest. Wow, this is unbelievable. Has DK been in there?
No, he has not seen it. Nobody went, the 2 or 3 steps south that you needed to go to see that. Which is, it's interesting. I don't know. We might see Just Chris pop in and get like a chainmail. I don't think it would be worth going in and out. It definitely would have been for the hand axe if, we didn't have flags that made it a minimum hand axe roll. But he's not going to feel great about this. I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, so everyone I'm racing has got the hand axe already. And it took me 6 levels to get that. That's great.
But DK's in a similar position now where maybe could just grind up the money for the hand axe, get the rest of it here. But yeah, really unfortunate to not have seen Tablet and just gotten that free gold to get the hand axe a little bit quicker.
Looks like he is going to stock up on some herbs, probably by a dragon scale. Maybe torches if he's feeling scared of the dark.
Yeah, some nice quality of life improvements here for sure. Being able to heal really is helpful out on the map, obviously.
Yeah, I would have stopped in Breck, too. But it's not like it matters that much. You could literally just use a herb here and not go there and, spend more money on the healing, but not have to visit the flea-infested beds of Breckenary.
Yep, and we'll see if we can get a... interesting. So I think that the Metal Scorpions might be in the south zone. I don't know if we've seen much of the... Maybe there's skeletons in the west zone.
It's a little hard for me to tell. I kind of felt like that was the east zone the Metal Scorpion was in, but I might have been wrong. Just Chris moving through the map here, finds a cave. It's Stone's Cave.
Yep, this is the cave that DK was over by before, but died before he could get in there, and it's the Stones Cave with the stones.
I swear there is something in the coding that makes this the most common place for that to be.
Well, that's a needed item there, so good find, but not going to change the complexion of the race at this point.
The blue dragon does what we would have expected to happen at some point here with low hit points and low agility, that some Sherlock enemy was just going to ambush and kill him. But he did find some stuff. We'll see if yeah, he's saving, maybe saving time. It took him a little while to menu that, but meanwhile, DK gets himself a hand axe. So we are all even on equipment, with the exception of the dragon scale, which barely counts. I'm pretty sure DK is in the never buy a dragon scale camp, so...
Yeah, he sees Tablet there. I just don't know that he cares to go in.
I think he just saw it.
The wolf in this zone is also great knowledge. That is a much happier friend than the... Well, you'll still fight the metal scorpion. I don't know if he knows about the weak breath yet.
Yeah, he was the only one that's seen it. Just Chris is still pushing out the exploration. Yeah, I think you were right about the north-south zones, because we're seeing a wolf up here and Just Chris is north of Stark somewhere.
The wolf is a fantastic enemy for them to be fighting right now. I mean, you want to have heal or those herbs. The warlock as well in this zone, so yeah, I think that this is where DK's new home is for the future.
Yeah, it might be the same for Just Chris, even though he doesn't realize that he could have gotten here a lot quicker, or a lot safer and quicker. I guess that's both true. So we might get inched up. Oh, all right. The metal scorpion dodged, but then decided to cast stop spell, which is funny considering they don't have any spells you can cast in battle.
Yeah, and the state of this race is remarkably even right now. The only difference is that Chris has been to the bottom of Tablet and has gotten the stones from the Stones Cave, but DK knows where the Stones Cave is and should be able to get those at some point, so pretty much parity right now.
Yeah, and you know, chat's talking about it. I have to believe that DK has just not noticed Tablet, or he has overwritten it with something in his mind, because I know he hasn't been in there, and there's a tendency for people to be kind of fancy with Tablet, but I don't think they do that much anymore since Permatorch is on. When Permatorch wasn't on, people would just not go in there unless they had torches and stuff. But yeah, it's been like just on the corner at best. Just hasn't quite seen it. See, Just Chris
and it's
is
not important. Like it's not going to be that important unless he spends time looking for it, because there's one thing that you're still trying to find and he hasn't found it yet. But yeah, there's nothing important in there, so it might not be relevant, but it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that when he does see it, he is going to feel very bad. But hey, we get level 8 on his side, which is 12 power. Finally getting that power. 1, 4, and 16. Even more MP for all of your return and repel casting needs.
Hey, being able to get home is nice. Can do it a number of times without having to heal.
Indeed. I think he's got the right idea. Just sit here. This is fine. It's a good zone. No reason to worry about it. And you're not catching a lot of bad enemies. Meanwhile, though, Just Chris does see a town over the bridge. Is he going to get there through the forest? And he does!
Hey, it's a pretty good one, Garenham. You can get herbs there. We don't have keys, though, so we can't check the back, but can check the shop to see what's there. We've got Copper Sword, Chainmail, Large Shield. Not enough money for anything of relevance right now.
I'd buy the herbs back up for sure. I mean, that's your only healing. And Garenham is pretty much the best town to buy herbs in.
Yeah, and having no healing spells yet, finding herbs is really, really important for keeping efficiency. Or if you're trying to explore, you need the herbs. If you're trying to grind, you want to use herbs instead of, it's faster to use the herbs to stay on the grind. So it's just always good to have herbs when you can't heal.
Yeah, that would be the difference between the two, but the death is so quick for DK that he can just get right back to that grind. I don't think that Just Chris is going to march right back to where he was, though. He's going to keep pushing the exploration. Or not. He is going right back to those hills. That is... I want to say that is a smart move.
Yeah, the herbs probably play more of a role when you want to use your MP. If you don't care about your MP at all, probably makes plenty of sense just to die and come back. And Wolf, Metal Scorpion, Warlock, in terms of getting to level 9, it's hard to be feeling like they could be doing better.
Yeah, you don't have any truly bad enemies in here. Like, even the Metal Scorpion, I would say would take what it is versus a normal one, just because the stop spell spam is a lot more likely than the weak breath.
Yeah, maybe if there was also a skeleton in the zone or something, that might be also what you're looking for. But this is pretty ideal in terms of the zone 1/2 experience. Players hoping for a healing spell, I think, primarily at level 9, but you're always hoping to get hurt more. Sleep would be nice. We saw that Magiwyvern on Chris's side. That would be a nice enemy to maybe try to sleep down at some point.
Yeah, that would definitely be a nice zone to possibly continue grinding on if you choose to do so. Now, I see DK taking the death. This is the nature of this cycle where Just Chris could catch up a little bit. He's not using Repel, though, so he is occasionally running into the stupid Drakey. I'm allowed to call it stupid. I think I can call him stupid.
Yep, and with a 24 defense, still obviously keeping all those important enemies in and getting rid of the riffraff, so a pretty ideal repel situation right here.
Thank you, Shahali, for the Drakey info.
All things considered, only about a 60 point XP gap right now, 50 point. Not even that anymore, so race state is quite close at this point.
But we are 1 kill on DK's side away from seeing what this level has. Possibly 2 for Just Chris. Really not trailing that much, and again, is kind of keeping up more than I would have expected by using those herbs.
And we've got 3, 2, 8, 3. No spells at level 9. DK walking left, maybe going to be walking right again here in the near future.
Yes, I do not expect to see DK leave here, because again, this is fine. It's not great, but considering what you got, unless you walk into sword, armor, that's the only things. Keys, maybe, but that would just be more looking for sword and armor. I don't even know, what would you gold grind for at this point? Was there a magic armor? That actually would be bad, because then you wouldn't be able to repel these guys. Which is kind of... Sorry, I was going to say, this is actually the problem that Just Chris will have now, that if he wanted to use repel, he'd be dropping the Warlock now, too.
Be dropping the Metal Scorpion as well, right?
Oh, it is up to 37. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so it would be the Metal Scorpion, too. For some reason, I didn't acknowledge the Dragon Scale being equipped, even though the numbers are right there on the screen.
But Chris wasn't using Repel anyway, so not likely to suffer too much from that. So in terms of the experience that he's been having, will just be a strict upgrade in terms of taking less damage.
Correct. And he's going to stick around. I think this is the right play. It's possible. Like, I think on DK's side, I'd be more tempted to maybe take a runner somewhere, but Just Chris has actually seen a good deal of the map. The likelihood that he's going to stumble into something pushing out a little bit more is pretty unlikely.
Yeah, and if there's important items, hiding somewhere in the bottom of Grave, probably don't want to go back in there until later, so I doubt either of the runners are really going to poke their heads in there until they've checked out most every other place on the map.
And it looks like he is going into town. I think he's going to preserve the money. He's probably thinking, next level, I'm going to grab a half plate and leave.
Yep, probably not going to... We'll see if he goes and gets some herbs here too. Has the opportunity, but may decide that not interested.
So he does have his camera up, and I would say that this sort of start is pretty boring. Once you've figured out what you have to do, that's, it's exciting at that point, and then you're just kind of waiting for the stats to come and for things to change. Now, if he keeps popping in to save the money, sorry to overwrite you there, but if he does, he's going to be visiting the town a lot, and that might give Just Chris a little bit more opportunity to catch up.
Yeah, for sure. And if level 10 doesn't come with a healing spell, I have to imagine the thought is going to be buy herbs and then push out, because you don't want to be in that zone going from 10 to 11.
No. I would say I don't like this. I think the difference between chainmail and half plate is not a lot. And you are losing a lot of time. Kind of the equivalent of going, like if he just went to you know, buy more herbs and then leave, that's about the same amount of time it takes to walk back into the town, heal once, and leave.
Yeah, so maybe the herb, you know, when you don't have healing, like herbs are just so value. I'm a big herb proponent in these. I like to buy herbs a lot, so maybe sometimes too much, but I'm always on the like, can I buy herbs to heal and do stuff?
Oh, nice crit by Just Chris there.
And chat is bringing up the point that you could just get some gold out of tablet if that's really what you're looking for. But again, DK is unaware of the existence of tablet as far as I can tell.
I just, if he sees it there and goes in, like when he sees it there and sees what it is, I'm just expecting to, like I will actively be looking at his stream to see his face because I want to see the reaction. When it's gold, it could be worse, but gold is actually a pretty bad result for that because that means he could have had the hand axe like 5 minutes earlier than he did.
Yep, about to get level 10 here, so we'll see if the game is going to give them a bone or not. As we get 6, 0, 18, 14 heal stop spell. So yes, the game threw them a pretty massive bone there.
Yeah, this feels good. Hey, look, there's the cave. He had to see that. So yeah, he's just mentally replaced it. Like, if he goes north and sees grave, he might, like, stop and realize that, you know, he's missed that, but... that's the only thing I can say. There's no way, because I'm like, certain he hasn't went in that cave. That, or for some reason he thinks it's actually the Rainbow Drop cave that he saw earlier.
That's a possibility too. Chris also about to get these stat upgrades and the heal spell. And heal really the big thing that was missing. So pretty likely to see some pushes out here.
Oh, he's not going to the cave. Yeah. So yeah, just Chris picking up his level 10. And we'll see if he pushes out. Heal spell makes it really more likely to push out. The agility is still very bad. The agility concerns me.
DK making it back to the Stones Cave, going to learn about the contents, being the Stones of Sunlight. Picks them up.
Oh, that is the Dragon Lord there. This is the Yolomor group, and that is the image that Juef17 painstakingly made over many days, or maybe in like 2 minutes, for the group. And I just happened to have it on this source, so I went ahead and threw it out there.
All right, we've got some pushing out here south of that Stones Cave from DK, and looks like Chris is still kind of hanging out in the Brecconary area. Wyvern is a good start to his zone.
You know, getting ambushed isn't good, but I think he should be able to get through it. And it looks like Just Chris did go back. Did he? Yeah, he picked himself up a half plate, went up, and then realized he'd already been up there, and now is going west. Yeah, DK clearing that wyvern. That's pretty juicy bird meat.
Yep, and feel pretty confident about it with 69 HP and the heal spell. The ambush is a little bit of a bummer, but you can withstand that at this point.
We see our Magi Wyvern, but it's probably not killable. He gets a good roll, he could finish this off, but heal is not the ticket.
Yeah, I think that at this point, 25. So yeah, you just got to go for the swing, and doesn't quite get there. You're really hoping for the sleep spell to take on a Magiwyvern right now.
Yeah, which DK is fighting a golem. This is even more exciting. The golem is just throwing out Hurtmore's stop spells. So DK stop spelled it, and it's just going to town. And this golem is using his words, not his hands, and his words aren't doing anything.
Yeah, and wandering around in this swampy marshland, DK may have just encountered a golden goose.
He is not sticking around for it though.
It's great knowledge to have.
True, and you'll probably find them somewhere else. It's rare that you find something in only one zone in the game if it's not, in the beginning zones.
Yeah, I tend to find the zones mirrored around in different places in the map.
It does look like we see the bottom of the world here. That kind of means Tantagel is centered. Maybe center left. There's probably a whole lot of north still to go from where Just Chris was.
Yeah, I think center left is a pretty good estimate of the starting castle location. And looks like there's a long, convoluted path to get kind of out and around.
Unfortunately, we see, well, the Armor Knight is probably better than the green or the Red Dragon at least, because it does seem to really love its weak breath. And we're almost.
Yeah, needed more weak breath to get the mercy rule there.
Yeah, not quite.
Well, I don't know if there's maybe another way to get out east and north faster, but it potentially might be that you need to go west and south, then east to get anywhere.
Yeah, I know that Just Chris didn't see everything that was up here, but we see the town again. When you're leveling 10 levels before you really go anywhere, or going to level 10, excuse me, you don't really want to see anything this close. You want to have to walk half the map to find stuff. And the town is practically in Zone 2, which is, not great. It's not going to mean much, but...
It's armored knighted again.
Stop. This one doesn't want to use its words. Well, I guess it's not words when it breathes. I don't know what you would call that.
It seems like it's probably 50% maybe on the weak breath, considering we've seen a couple of stints of breath in a row, a couple stints of attacks. That leads me to believe it might be 50.
Yeah. I wonder if DK is regretting not taking another golem. Just to get the level, that could have been really nice. But, I mean, we don't know what else could have been in that zone.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to get the level here in this Scorpion, or Metal Scorpion Wolf Warlock zone.
Yeah, although he is now repelling the Warlock, so it's just going to be Metal Scorpion and Wolf. But it's not going to take much. It's only 2175, and he's about 3 kills away.
Yeah, and he'll be hoping to get significant boosts or the Hurt More spell. Would really help for those Armored Knights that we seem to be running into in several places.
I hope for his sake he gets the Radiant spell. It's really useful when diving Tablet.
I mean, it can be, yeah. You don't want to get lost in there.
Maybe outside, that could be good.
Well, we'll get to see the answer right here as level 11 is going to unfold in front of us with Courage and Wit 3, 8, 27, 5 Radiant.
All right. So, the big one, of course, is Radiant, but he also gains some hit points. Meanwhile, Just Chris is right next to a town. It's right next to it, but there's a werewolf guarding the town. Is the werewolf going to let him go? He's going to try to out-heal the werewolf's damage. I do not like that. This hurt more. He did not get away. Ugh.
Devastating, just absolutely devastating stuff. And I was going to say the extra HP for DK is actually a kind of sneaky backdoor way to deal with those AK-47s. If you get the breath, you might get that mercy roll run. So kind of a little bit of insurance.
Yeah, you might only need one breath now. Do it. Just Chris, again, where he saw that town, DK was just one screen south of that before too. So it's not the he didn't push out tremendously further. It was just one more screen, basically. It looks like he's going to go right back to it. And the temptation to see Rim or Cole at this point is pretty high. What if,
Yes.
Yeah, because we've seen Breck and Garanham. So the only time you really don't want to see right now is Cantland. And that's kind of funny to say.
We don't have sleep. We do have stop spell though. So if that golem is on a Hawksnest spike and you find Hawksnest, that could be quite enticing.
We have the rare stop spelling a Goldman to kill them at level 11.
Yeah, I wonder if DK is going to go back and get that large shield after this.
He wants some money. I would. Get it. You're done. You don't have to check another shop the rest of the game if you really don't want to. I mean, I would because of Broadsword, but I'll take any attack boost I can get. Fortunately, Just Chris does not get as far this time. The Axe Knight takes him out. It is a long, treacherous path to where he was going. It might actually, I don't really want to say it, but is Wolves, Metal Scorpions, might still be the best grind, the best thing to do right now. But,
yeah, 30 agility is pretty low. It's going to be tough to run from stuff. Even at level 11, DK's only got 38, which is, close to feeling like you can run from stuff, but it's pretty bleak in terms of athleticism out there.
Mm-hmm. Was he just going after the Magic Wyvern? He did swing really well last time to do as much damage as he did. He did 46 last time, and the Magic Wyvern's max is 48. This time he swings 3 times, doesn't kill him, but he survives with 1 hit point.
Hey, that's a hard-earned 83 right there.
That is, I would say that fight is under 50% to win, if you get the first swing. Or maybe just under 50% overall. I don't know. First swing seemed like that. It's not pretty helpful. So. Let's see. There's a little bit north here of DK, which makes me think that the path is going to go north. If it doesn't, almost certainly means like a second continent or just a lousy one. Taking swings on the wizard here, though. That's fun.
Yeah, that extra HP and then the 10 extra defense from the large shield, I think, contributing to making this a pretty good fight with Hurt, especially. Wizard is probably a targetable enemy right now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Just Chris, this zone is turning out to be a little bit better than I think we might have anticipated. I saw the Wolf Lord there. I think he killed something in between the Magic Wyvern and the Wolf Lord, but I was too busy paying attention to whatever DK was doing.
And is that the just southeast of Garanham area right there?
Yep. And he is repelling... Again, right now he'd be repelling Wolves and Spectres as the high end.
Definitely not a bad mid-game grind right there, as DK has found some area. Nothing to see yet, but it is opening up.
Yeah, it's the area that Just Chris is the most likely to go to next. And okay, so there probably isn't a swap continent if this is actually the top. And it's just, a little bit of land that got cut off when they cookie-cuttered the map.
Yeah, and it does seem like maybe you have to go that, west, south, east, north. It might be a big spiral kind of a map situation.
It'd be funny if both sides connected, so you could actually go either way. Oh, Magic Wyvern is a little dodgy. He's going to try to herb out of this. I don't know if that'll work. It might work. He's trying on 24 hit points. It didn't matter. He killed it in 1 hit anyway.
Chris kind of sticking it out, getting some dedicated XP here while DK is out and about. DK has been able to get some pretty good XP out here as well. Wyvern is kind of ideal, so is Wolf Lord. That whole range of enemies right now is pretty great in terms of safety and ease of getting XP.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Wyvern for the fact that it's kind of lowish on hit points, and its high stat is sort of strength. I don't know. It's strangely, you know, it's worth more than a Droll Magi, but if you really look at it, they're kind of the same, or maybe even the Droll Magi's harder. It's one of those...
DK has found a golem in the Hawksness zone, and this is quite valuable knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, he finds Hawksness, and he finds the golem, and it seems like the best thing he could be fighting. With the amount of hit points he has, he can... It's a lot safer, too. You don't have to worry about 1 or 2 stray swings, if he's even capable of doing that.
And it definitely seems like we've got 75% stop spell, but there was also another spell. I don't remember if it was hurt or hurt more, but it seemed like a pretty high frequency there, too. So this may be amazing.
Yeah, I think you want to take one more before you check the spike, even though the spike could be the golem. Just take the level when the game gives you the option to do it.
This is the kind of stuff that you dream about, is getting a free golem or red dragon that you have stop spell and they have low resist. It's just the dream.
Yeah, even if your attack isn't great, it's free, and there's nothing you're going to kill that's more efficient than this.
I would anticipate DK finding out some knowledge about the spike and then having a high priority on crushing some stones.
And if this is the only enemy that you get with Repel in the zone, that's even better. Let's see what 12 has. It's like 7, 3, 0, 4, hurt, and heal more. Heal more making the spike fight possible now, too.
Yeah, this is coming up real good for DK right now.
No sleep, that's a little bit unfortunate, but he has hurt more, which means you have stop spell, and that works. Maybe just as well as sleep. Maybe better.
So we know one spike right now, but the other spike is, I think, going to have to be pretty good to be better than looking for a golem in a desert zone right now.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to grind the Stone Man. I think I would definitely just take the Golem in the zone over that, given the choice.
Death Necklace here in Hawksness on the spike. We'll see if DK just hangs out in the desert here for a while. Would be a pretty advantageous thing to do.
Oh, he's not. I think... Oh, and there's another town right off the bat. I think he's still antsy at how long that opening grind took. How long it took him to get a hand axe. Probably feels a bit behind.
Yeah, and he has the knowledge. He can come back there if he needs to. And maybe, maybe Swamp Cave has the spike of a golem, so there might just be like a better grind out there. I can definitely understand looking for other stuff. As Cole, we have the flute.
Oh, he finally got to that town on the third attempt to get there, and it's just the flute. Very interested in the shop, though. I'm not sure. Maybe a broadsword would be nice to see. You're not there money-wise, but it might be. So, we're missing Rim. It's keys. The solution is keys. We need keys. Where are the keys?
Yeah, have we seen Mountain? Because we've seen the other one chest caves, and we've seen the top of Grave. So Rim or Mountain right now are the only possibilities for keys.
Right. And, unless you can backdoor into Garenham and it has a key, but... I mean, we're missing, what? 2 swamps, we're missing the Staff of Rain trade, and we're missing Mountain, so it's likely that one of the 2 towns has swamp underneath it, but who knows?
Yeah, you could also backdoor into the castle as well. Forgot about Swamp as an option to backdoor into either Garenham or Tentagel to buy some keys. So that's probably going to be the big moment here, is key acquisition.
Yes, look at me pulling out the whole, but you could just go back into Garenham and not the castle which actually sells them. That's great.
Yep, and to answer the question in chat, as far as we know, DK has not gone into the Tablet Cave. Unsure if he's confused it with the Rainbow Drop Cave or, just didn't decide to go in there.
Yeah, very strange. I can't see any situation where he would purposely do that, so... Yes. Brian Williams, 42, our official VOD scrubber, scrubbed it. Scrubbed the VOD, did not find any sight or sound of DK doing that.
So really nice to have heal more. No hurt more makes the absolute best thing that you could be doing for XP right now is fighting golems. But also you want to be finding stuff. We only have the stones and the death necklace, I guess. The flute Chris has, but in terms of things to progress and beat the game, a lot of them are still out there.
You see the first Sharlock sighting. So it does seem like it's up in that area. He's going quite a ways south, though. Oh, and we got a cave.
It's mountain.
It's mountain.
So this could be a key access for DK or one of those key items that he's looking for. So 5 checks is pretty amazing right now. The best he could do in terms of finding numbers of checks right now.
So I do see Just Chris grinding out here. I'm sure part of it's the experience, but I think he really wants to get the broadsword.
That was token in chest 1 for the mountain.
Alright. So what do we have left? We need our grand combined knowledge. We are missing sword, armor, and heart with 2 of the overworld, or 2 of the searches left.
That's right, and the bottom of Grave and behind Garenhem and the treasury all unchecked, and the rim chest as well.
Yeah, so the odds we're gonna see something here are not super high. I might be doing a commentator's blessing here, but we'll see.
DK gets that torch out of the inventory. You love to see it.
Yes, they meet at Yeet, and then there's a red dragon. And we knew this guy was gonna be. Yeah, he does have heal more, and it has weak breath, so reasonably survivable.
Yeah, this is a definite mercy rule situation. You're aiming for the mercy rule here. If you get away before, then great.
And yeah, I think it's not really where you want to try to fight it. Maybe after you checked everything.
Reminding us about sleep on that red dragon. I forgot about the sleep.
Yeah, DK hasn't seen the sleep yet. I'm pretty sure. I think it's only been just Chris. He's got the gold, and he wants to leave. He can't. So Mountain Cave...
Unfortunately, no keys, huh?
Yeah, Mountain Cave did have the token. It is required, but only the first floor. The ideal scenario is just Chris finds it after he's got everything else, but yeah, we have half of the locations just about left. That's hard to say.
Yeah, keys going to open up so many of those checks. Without keys, the only remaining check that we have is... I don't know if there is one. For DK, it's Cole, but in terms of the combined knowledge that we have, I don't know if there are any more overworld checks that we have without keys.
No. We could find Swamp. That's still possible. But we do know Remolder has to be on the main continent, because if it's on the second continent, it'll be locked, and there's no free key. So it has to be Rim. Meanwhile, while we were paying attention to the cave, Just Chris did give himself a broadsword. Look, extra attack power. I'm always in the opinion, any sort of attack upgrade you can get, you get, because it's always useful. Some others are, you know, not quite in that camp. But...
Especially in a seed without hurt more, you know, the extra, you're going to be attacking stuff. I don't know that Chris knows it, but, you know, if you're going to be fighting golems too, every extra attack power you can get is going to help you on like a guaranteed swinging grind.
Yeah, I don't think he's fought any of them yet, and that's the difference in the experience, more or less, is the golems, the 3 that DK has taken out. That's 1,000 experience, and we have a 900 experience gap.
Yeah, Brian bringing up in chat that according in DK's mind, the tablet cave might have a key in it and might be trying to look for it. That could come into play here, but probably also hoping to find Rim as well.
Yeah, the Hurtmore and the Werewolf there taking Heomar off of DK. He is definitely the walking wounded right now. Just 1 Heomar left. He does have some herbs. He did throw one of those down, but he might be running out of exploration, and I'm getting the feeling that these sides are not connected, because it seems like Just Chris has been walled off from the north.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those rivery, windy, lots of bridge maps that can be quite daunting to explore fully.
If that's the case, does that mean... I don't think that means Rim has to be over here. There might be some other stuff that Just Chris hasn't seen. I think there was a southeast from Cole that wasn't fully explored, but DK is running out of everything. And I guess he has that knowledge now. This is it. And he's just going to very slowly die here in the swamp.
Find the Demon Knight not in a cave.
Instead of casting Return, which he did have. I think it's probably faster to just die.
Just get any resource you're down, yeah.
And get the werewolf on... Oh, Just Chris immediately to the stop spell. He knows what's up. The werewolf isn't super heavy on the hurt more, though. But he can take it down. Just gotta be careful. Do not trust your life on a swing on a werewolf, because much more dodgy than you expect.
I wonder if we see DK go into this cave and then see that it's the rainbow drop and figure it out, or maybe not.
Yeah, because I swear he could see Grave. Like, if he could see Grave and Tablet in quick succession, that might do it. Again, it doesn't matter, but yet it might matter at some point. If, if something is in Charlock and he decides to pursue Tablet, that could be a problem.
And, despite everything, Just Chris keeping it real close here. We'll have to do some other exploration and find some things, but in terms of XP and everything, Chris has done a great job of progressing in this race.
Yeah, he is heavily defending his position here. He has been popping back in and taking fairly quick refreshes. I think he just wants to, this is the sort of thing where, for me, I would think, if I die without fully exploring this could be why I lose the race. And, yeah, he could take out the Summer Knight, but he could also just
Noted
run.
flute enthusiast about to pick up the flute.
Yes, everyone get out your flute love emotes.
No need for the flute in this seed, though. The stop spell is more than sufficient. So, there's not as many golems on the overworld as you might want, though. I think that you're probably hoping in DK shoes that as you walk around, you just naturally encounter golems that you can stop spell and take along the way exploring. But it hasn't really been working out that way.
Yeah. And we have had this constant annoyance that we haven't really talked about, but the agility is still kind of low. And when we just got ambushed by a wyvern, and you're thinking level 12, maybe that shouldn't happen. But it's still a very real thing where they're just getting nicked a lot by everything.
And the HP is good, but it's not at the point where you feel like you can just take a bunch of hits and get away from stuff. You're going to have to use your heal mores to get mercy rules here, as we get 428 agility, 4 HP, 2 MP, and outside. So the agility is significantly improved on level 13.
Well, now he can go through Tablet. He's got Radiant and he's got Outside. It is very safe. Minimal time loss. I'm sorry, DK.
Still no hurt more, so we're going to be swinging at stuff. And again, there's nothing that we would rather be doing than swinging on a golem, but they're just not out on the map here.
I think Just Chris is in a new place. This might be the last place that we've collectively not seen. If it's not, then there's something we're just missing that everyone has overlooked.
Very likely to lead to Rimeldar or, key access in via Swamp Cave.
Oh, true. Well, no, Rim has to be somewhere. If Swamp Cave has to go to one of the towns at this point. But there it is.
That's got to be it right there, right?
Yep.
So the DK headed in the same direction, so likely to have a convergence of keys for both here, unless something changes that.
Yeah, he did not waste any time really cook through that whole area. So, keys in the southeast corner of the map. Yay!
So both racers at 53 minutes might be feeling a little pressed about this, but honestly, obviously they're both finding it about the same time, but it would be hard to imagine not feeling a little bit pressed by this key acquisition time.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a little bit of the map here they both didn't quite explore, but it's very likely that the Staff of Rain trait is behind one of the locales, and the swamp just goes to a completely pointless swamp island. That was a very useful one step north for Just Chris. But why is he not? Okay, I get what he's doing there. He wanted to clear the map. He's just gonna warp out probably once he's done here.
We got a cursed belt hidden behind 2 locked doors, and DK has seen enough.
He is gone. He's going to, as quick as he can, get his stuff settled. Now, Just Chris hasn't seen as much as DK has, but DK also didn't see anything particularly useful.
Just the mountain cave with the token in it.
Yeah. Hey, look, there was a free key inside of the treasury.
Well, that's probably going to be helpful.
And armor. Yes, armor, very helpful. Shoot, so... yeah, that leaves, what, Deepgrave, Garenham, Cantlin...
So if you see a golem, do you even stop spell at this point? I don't remember what the other spell is, but even if it's hurt more, I imagine you just swing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, maybe Swamp Cave? Yes.
Definitely worth checking to see what is on the spike here, because, I mean, especially for DK, he knows that the Stone Man is bunk in Hawksness, and it's right under the castle, so usually right under the castle is the best you can get.
It's a red dragon.
That's not great, no. If this is a very ugly count, honestly, I mean, considering where the starting location is, there's nothing you're gonna really do with fancy reverses or anything here anyway. I did not get away. Yeah, DK is gonna fight it and get the news, and he did not know about that. He's not happy about that.
Yep, the weak breath is pretty good though.
Yeah, it's not bad if the sleep resist isn't bad. You're not going to want to see it in Charlock, but again, the weak breath weakens a lot of that. And Just Chris does not care about what's on the other side of that. He knows, well, he doesn't actually know what it is, but at best it's Staff of Rain trade, and that's it. Or Garenham, which would... no, I think it pretty much has to be, because if it isn't, then we have no idea where that is, and I think we've collectively seen the entire map.
Yep, so we're going to get a first eye look at these Garenham chests. It's the sword.
Okay, so... Fighter's Ring. Nothing important's going to be in Charlock today. This is actually really good news for Just Chris if he gets the Cantlin sees coordinates. He could literally just warp out at heart. And there it is.
Looks like not much of a swamp. Oh, it's opening up a little bit here. Nope, it's all, yeah. DK has seen enough. I'm going to go to Garenham likely as well.
This is, well, I don't know. If you preemptively rescue the princess and Cantlin is along the way, that's good, but DK will not do this because he knows that there's only one thing that could be on that swamp continent, and we know it's not there, so...
Yep, and Chris needs to go to the mountain and might want to go into Hawksness and fight the Stone Man as well. We'll find out that it's the Death Necklace, but you know that's another thing that Chris doesn't know about yet.
Yeah, and if he's going in order, the same order that DK does, I think he'll find everything pretty much in line. We'll see if he goes after the Red Dragon now, or if he checks the continent. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't see anything here that he just warps back. It's, again, this is a situation where if the count is challenging at all, the princess is going to be pretty important.
Yeah, this map would be a nightmare to count something like 75-42 or something like that. You know, I want no part of that. As DK picks up the sword.
There you go. Nice little swamp island. What do you think the odds are that the harp is on that island?
Oh man, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 16, just like a Wraith Knight's Hurt More Resist. 3 out of 16.
I'm gonna say. Let's see. How many tiles were on that island? How many tiles are in the game? Just kidding. I don't know that.
Yeah, Brian knows where I'm going with that.
No, where are you going? Just Chris, you've been this way. Don't. We're gonna see some retracing of steps and finding a whole lot of nothing, I think, for a while on his side.
Yep, I think DK is probably going to head straight back to Cantlin. That seems like the last major location to go look for, and then the bottom of grave if you get desperate.
Yeah, and to not be too sour on all of this, but if there's nothing down here and he keeps pushing around where he's already been, this is the sort of thing that could just decide the race, which has been very close up to now.
Yeah, this is absolutely still in anybody's ballpark. The information about golems that DK has, both that they're free fights and that they're available in Hawksness, though, is pretty important.
Right.
Oh, maybe Chris doesn't know about Cantlin either, so yeah, this is definitely looking real good for DK right now.
And you don't feel bad if he's just taking good fights, but he does have to find all this stuff. You just hope he hasn't written it out, through his head or
40
whatever.
south, 1 east.
That's gonna be near Cole, I think.
Looks like DK's gonna scout it out, see if there is a possible landmark.
Or is that? I don't think that's swamp. I think that is.
So I'm gonna get a landmark set up and see if you can't make it back to that spot, and if you can, it's probably not too bad.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing, if I'm landmarking it, I'm actually counting to where the end of the island is, and I'll do my counting over when I see that. I always try to find the most obvious looking thing because I will forget.
Yeah, I have forgotten a number of landmarks that I've made, and it has caused me a significant amount of consternation.
So he is going to count this. There is no princess in his future, unless this goes very poorly, which, of course, we hope doesn't happen.
And, as chat pointing out, Chris definitely needs to see the easy golems soon, but they just haven't been on the map. They're like one zone had a golem in it outside of the Hawksness zone, and Chris has not been to Hawksness yet.
Yeah, it was literally the zone he was in, too, when he said that. He saw them before.
Didn't encounter it, huh?
Yeah, so he has to have rounded this area off. I don't know. When we get in situations like this, we're always like, well, do they map, or how are they tracking this stuff? But it might be a lot more simple than that, in that he just hasn't traced like the inside coast here.
The DK making the long walk, trying to get to that area that he landmarked, and seems like he's seen enough.
That might actually be swamp. It didn't seem like it, but we'll see. If he
3 out of 16, it happens every time.
I was just kidding, game. You don't take me seriously. You just assume you hate to see swamp have no purpose, so.
Yeah, so if this is indeed the harp on the coordinates, which I think it has to be, right? Because we've got both the necklace and the flute accounted for. So yeah, it's going to be the harp on the chords. Next step, DK goes to Hawksness and grinds golems. Is that kind of what we're thinking?
He might just do this, since it's close. It's not super safe or great, but it's a very neutered red dragon as long as the sleeps keep landing. So he might be tempted to do that. He might even just fight a few more of these before he gets the princess, just to see how safe it is. But Brian Williams pointed out in chat, you were right. Actually, it was near Cole, but he bailed. and I'm not 100% sure why, if he like lost track or something. And now he's just gonna push through. I'm gonna take 14 at least. No. I guess he could just rescue the princess and go back, but something like
I just feel like the golem is so free. Like, oh, it's just, you don't even have to cast stop spell anymore.
True. I don't disagree.
No, he's gonna go fight the red dragon again. He just wanted to get he wanted to show off to Gwaelin.
I mean, if he does go back to Cole, he could literally just take the wide path around and go in that southwest zone where he saw the golem before. You know, to maybe gain a level before rescuing the harp.
Yeah, and proximity to go might also be a consideration in terms of whether you want to go all the way back to Hawksness or maybe just stick it out here with the red dragon, which isn't quite as good, but is, you know, like you said, pretty good still. And we'll see here, we get 9, 8, 6, 7 with Hurtmore.
And in a lot of situations, Hurtmore might change your decisions about what to do with the grinding, but I don't think it happens in this. And yeah, I'm fine with him just get through most of your resources here. Just get as close to go as you can. Maybe you get it on the walk. Maybe you get it here. By the time it takes to walk to wherever the golems are, you would have killed 1 or 2 of these guys, and then, you know, how much of the time difference is there after that?
Yeah, especially if you can get the go level at 15 on these red dragons here, and then all you got to do is get your harp and your trade-ins done, and you can just go and win.
But yeah, I think it is definitely a, I don't know, I want to say fact, but it just feels like Just Chris had written off this area up here somewhere. This is at least the 3rd time I've seen him check out that little zone. So there's something about this area of the map that has misled him, I think.
And I don't think I've seen a stop spell miss on the red dragon yet, so that's good news in terms of its stop spell ability too. So it's not really, like, the sleep is unfortunate, but that's good knowledge too. If you get extra MP in Charlock, it might be a consideration to just stop spell.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring out the math here because they were talking about it in chat. 127 on my numbers is 17 swings. Some people might say 16. Which you could bring down to 15-ish with 12 Healmores. It's tight. So yeah, 15 is almost guaranteed go. Why not? Just kill reds. Even if you don't get the level, you get close. You probably get it on the walk to the harp, or the walk to the turn in for the harp. Well, I mean, that's just the castle. And I guess the jerk isn't very far, so... Yeah, you're not going to do a whole lot.
Just almost there, like 6,800, and now it's going to turn into Princess and continue, and is likely to get the remainder of 15 on the way to do the things. So pretty good situational awareness, resource management here by DK, I would say, by taking advantage of those reds to the extent that he felt was necessary, and now getting what's likely a go level on the go while getting the harp and the trade-ins done.
Making the grand visit to Brack. Yeah, I mean, the odds you're going to get 700 experience. Like, at worst, he doesn't get any experience and walks by Hawksness on the way to Cantlin, which is on the way to Charlock. So...
Yep, and Chris into the Hawksness spikes. Gonna get the Death Necklace here, but importantly, Cantlin is just to the east of this, maybe a little north, and so we'll be able to get that information as well. Mountain Cave also in the area somewhere.
True. So, like, this order of exploration is actually really good for Just Chris. It's just the fact that he didn't go back up here after he got the stuff is the problem. After he got keys. Just kind of wrong ordered the part after that, which is what is causing the problems here, so...
Yeah, still was very much within reach if he had just gone, like you said, straight this way after, you know, finding the keys and getting all those checks done.
And I think I think you see Mountain before Cantlin, or was it after? No, yeah, Mountain was past Charlock, so he'll see Cantlin first. So he'll get the coordinates. At that point, if he's got his logic, you know, algorithms all set up correctly, he'll know as soon as he sees the token he's done. So he just pick up the Death Necklace. So... But he went the wrong direction.
Oh, maybe Mountain has one of the cursed belts as well. So it doesn't see Cantlin, but does go into Mountain Cave here. So it's probably going to dive and go through the whole of Mountain, like what Aaron was trying to say. If he had gotten the information about the coordinates, maybe it was able to leave when you get the token.
Yeah, Cantlin is just to the east of Foxness, so... I guess the really bad thing is if he keeps pushing this direction, there was a not unsubstantial amount of land over here. See, DK is a little too far to the east, I think. He's still too far to the east. He's reading the coordinates wrong.
There's the harp, as we knew it would be. Looks like token here for Chris at the same time.
Yep, so DK found what he came for. He's going to walk to Garenham. I think he's still fine on keys. It's always a little bit of a concern when you get keys really late, but sometimes you just start burning through them without thinking about getting more.
Yep, and it's not going to matter here, but I am curious to know if after he gets this harp, if he goes into the tablet to trade in, or if he's just going to go straight to the correct stones of, or to the correct rainbow drop cave.
It's a little surprising what DK is doing. I guess he doesn't want to get too far away from the Red Dragon in case that's the go-to thing, but I don't know. And just Chris is going backwards, which is good, but didn't quite go completely backwards, which is bad. So
12 extra HP there. 2 extra strength.
It brings maybe one double, reasonably higher likelihood of getting an opening double. 118 is not really enough to make that super positive, but the extra attack power is probably the big thing.
Yeah, 2 at that level is pretty relevant.
You know, on my numbers, this is 16 swings to clear the range. If he gets Fairy Water, that brings down to 15. He's got 15 heal mores, or 13 heal mores, so... And Cantlin's on the way, so... Just stopping Cantlin. It's the closest town.
Alright, it's the moment of truth. He's gonna go the right way. Just that tablet cave, nobody needs it.
It's just good for him that tablet cave wasn't something important. Because it would have just been miserable for all of us to watch this if that was the case. Like nobody, like it's the sort of thing that if you miss it for like a minute, you might chuckle at somebody, but if it were like 70 minutes, it just feels bad. Just Chris. Yeah, just Christos fine Cantlin. He's gonna get his coordinates. Probably gonna rescue the princess. And by the time he does all of that, which Swamp Cave was in the way. That wasn't just coal. There was a reason why DK did have to warp back. But our Swamp Island, excuse me, was the western edge of it. Because that wasn't directly coal. Because there was no way that was going to be 40 steps south. You know, where he was on that. Maybe Just Chris will try to count something here.
Looks like DK is going to fight the Red Dragon some more.
Yeah, I guess he's not satisfied. This gives Just Chris an opportunity. I'm not sure it's enough of a window that if he went on 15 that he'd be able to do this. Plus, I think he has decided to go get the princess, which is... you know, I am just about the biggest anti-Gwalener. Is that the term? But I think this makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing around too much when it can be complicated and who knows where. So nothing worse than messing up a count that could be very consequential as far as you know.
Yeah, so you can make the argument for the golem. I think if you were doing a longer than one level, like actually that might be the argument that he literally could just walk to Hawk's Nest, do the grind there, and then walk over, you know, whatever fights he gets along the way. But that's a good point. But I think Just Chris is just gonna heal up afterward. This is not. I don't think he has in mind for this to be the grind. I think he is pushing for the heart. Again, as you mentioned before, Brian, 14 is technically winnable. It's super tight. 15 is slightly better.
I can see doing the Red Dragon in the sense that I don't think DK has missed a single stop spell, and the Golem is not guaranteed like the spiked fight, so, you know, maybe overall it's a little bit, like, it's way better to fight the Golem, but in terms of this is still pretty good, so I can definitely see just hanging out here.
Yeah, you know, I actually just want to say this is surprising. This doesn't feel like, this feels like taking an extra level for DK. I'm a little surprised that, you know, I was looking over the numbers again to see if I was confusing something. Like, no, I think you could lose a Healmore and still be the favorite on the Dragon Lord. Unless he's just, you know, he's seen enough Sharlock enemies that have spooked him.
Like, even a 4 extra MP gives you 2 potential stop spells to throw if you run into a Red Dragon. Like, a sleep could still get you.
Well, Just Chris died on the Red Dragon. I think he was actually grinding it. I don't remember seeing if he went and got the princess. So, you know, so much for me being right.
I'm not really sure what we're worried about in this seed besides getting slept by the Red Dragon.
The AK-47s have weak breath as well.
Oh, well, we missed a stop spell.
Missed 2.
All of a sudden.
So, and now he's slept. Shahali, do you want to pop up that Red Dragon for us? I think it's been long enough. Wow. Oh, that's actually
5 to 6. Okay.
Yeah, he's actually gotten luckier than average up to now. So,
the 75% weak breath is great. The 25% sleep is as good as it could be. 1051 sleep.
that is the exact sort of level that somebody who might be taking an extra level deserves. I don't want to say
It will
deserves.
help though.
Yeah.
The 1 attack power and the 5 HP are both actually pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's not huge.
It's not nothing, and I would still grab the fairy water. But
Yeah, definitely. But the 123 different, the 5 HP is actually puts you in a decent, I feel like a better spot for doubles in a considerable way.
yeah, I would say also just the odds of this working out to where you might not lose a heal more on the dive is slightly higher too. And there's something about breaking that 120 mark that makes everything nicer.
Yeah, even mercy rule considerations, extra 5 could be the difference between feeling safe trying to run again and not.
Yeah, the 0 agility isn't great. 77 isn't, like, how much what are you really hoping for? Every seed to be 80 plus or something like that, so it's, especially with the way the mercy rule is now, I think the play is, generally speaking, just about everyone always tries to run now instead of swinging down, because you swing down to avoid massive run blocks, repeated run blocks, or to gain levels. And I think the math has changed with the mercy rule in place now to where just run wins.
So yeah, mayhaps a little bit more than necessary, but again, I think that this means that it's looking pretty good for this dive for DK. So still a pretty commanding position to be in at this point, with still some real work for Chris to do to get ready to get into Charlock. Finding the harp, getting it traded in, getting the drop, all not insignificant things to consider.
Indeed.
As well, it looks like Chris is also going to go to level 16, so kind of negating any potential advantage that could have been gotten by going earlier.
Yeah, the timing of this feels like, sorry, frog in my throat there. The timing feels like DK, like just Chris might not get to Charlock before DK finishes. At this rate. But he might bug out a little early, assuming experience as he's walking. Or he might just think again about it. And as much as I was giving DK a hard time about the level that, I mean, when you're playing the seed, you have a pretty good feel of what the situation is. That's a little easy as a tracker, or, you know, a watcher to make those sorts of comments.
Immediate first encounter, Red Dragon.
Second.
3 in a row.
Alright. Is this
And
what
an ambush to boot.
Is this the anti-mercy rule, where instead of after 3 runs you get to, or after 3 fails you get to run, where instead you just get 3 dragons right in a row and run from all of them first try?
The 75% weak breath is fantastic. So if you get slept, it might not be the worst thing, but you still got to try to run away. So hopefully not too many red dragons, even though they are somewhat nerfed.
Right. So, as I mentioned before, when nobody could hear me because I forgot to turn my mic on, this is an potential elimination race for just Chris. He does need to win, or he will be technically out of the brackets. This is his last race as well. DK is neither in nor out, regardless of what happens with this, because he still has to race Archfield, and if Archfield, like, there are still shenanigans that can happen, especially if Archfield loses in his race against Darren, which is currently ongoing. Actually started 45 minutes ago, 55 minutes ago. So we don't know. He would clinch if Archfield wins and he wins, because then, even though I think Darren could technically tie him, maybe, it wouldn't be enough. Or no, yeah, actually he wouldn't be able to. And that would be the situation that actually clinches it for him. There's only one person who's clinched this group. We're undefeated in the group. But yeah, if he wins and Archfield wins, they're both at 3 wins, and nobody else has more than 1, and there's 2 races left. So at that point, it would be for both of them. So strangely, DK and Archfield may be rooting for each other to win, if they're thinking about it that deeply, which I'm imagining they're not. Meanwhile,
been going pretty darn smooth so far. Yeah, looking real nice for DK to make it there with the resources. So unless there's some kind of massive surprise on the spike tile, things are looking pretty nice.
yes, while I was rambling about that, DK just makes it straight through. He's going to swing. He's just going to trust that 25% sleep is there and get through this spike without wasting that heal more. But he gets the sleep. How about it?
Still the breath, which is great.
Yeah, essentially inconsequential sleep because he woke up after 1 round. So he will be a strong favorite, not a like over-the-top guaranteed favorite, but with the chance for doubles here. This is going to be his to lose.
Chris, meanwhile, looking for the harp. Pretty close, but has a little bit of work to do to get there.
Meanwhile, this Dragon Lord is generally behaving, sort of. We've seen a few stop spells. He gets in with over 100 hit points. That's really what you want. So if you get ambushed, as he did, you just don't lose your opening attack.
Would love to not have gotten ambushed there. We're starting with 8.
Yes, he is rolling 7 to 15. So anything in the double digits is pretty much what you're hoping for.
So we're up to 20. He's thinking about the swing on 50, going to decline.
Yes, 50 is the max roll.
So 32.
Probably doesn't need to try to force any doubles here. Is more than likely going to get another shot.
So 46. $55. $68.
And the rolls have been better. And there we see the fairy
Into
water.
the fairy water. That's going to be 84.
Again, a near miss on the double. And he needed to do that, because he got it for 50.
95. It's 108. It's 121.
You are wondering, DK prefers to use his fairy waters later in the cycle, just in case things go horribly wrong.
132.
In very good shape.
146.
Leave short of losing a heal more, he is guaranteed at this point.
It's 156.
Not quite comfortable enough to just swing.
And that is 169. GG.
Yes, get those GGs out in chat. Great race by DK. Whole lot of early grinding, and there were some opportunities here and there for different things, but really didn't explore. Like, and this is not a knock on him, just the exploration didn't, the way he went wasn't the things he needed in the right order, but once he figured it out, he pushed pretty hard and was able to cash this one in. Very important win in this group.
And one where I have to imagine with some of the things that were going on, you know, I guess DK didn't end up seeing the tablet cave with the gold, so I didn't know that it would have been easier to get that hand axe earlier, but imagine getting the keys at 53 minutes for both racers probably had to feel pretty stressful, and hard to know what your position was in this race, I would imagine, in either place.
Indeed. And after seeing that, Just Chris has went ahead and thrown in the towel, thrown out the forfeit. So we'll see if we can get either of them in here with us in just a moment. The invitation has been sent. But yeah, I think if I'm on go level, I would take a chance. You know, finish out the dive, but you lose a lot of motivation in one-on-ones to push through. Oh, we see it's a pure 75% non-stop talking golem. Fairly minimal stop spell exists.
Looks like we got just Chris in the waiting room.
Indeed, and welcome in, Chris. GG on the race. This was a very close race for quite a while. The end kind of got away from you. How do you feel about it? Sorry, did you copy me, Chris?
I hear nothing. My stupid Discord is still not working.
Okay, I am talking to you, so if you can't hear me, I think we might just switch over to DK. So when you can, just let us know. I'll type in chat that. Hear you. But welcome in, DK. GG, congratulations on the race. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I liked most of that. It's a shame I didn't get keys first time south. Got stopped short of it, and then proceeded to find everything else first. But other than that, grinded an extra level just to hope for like something more, and we got basically nothing. But I didn't feel like grinding another level after that.
Yeah, definitely. We really wanted to know if you had gone in and seen Tablet at all, or if it just like never registered to check that cave south of was it Breckenary there?
Cave south of Breckenary? I bet you. I was thinking that was the grave the whole time, because I'll be honest. After I got keys at Rim, I was like, I immediately returned after checking. I was like, I have nowhere else that could be left outside the 2 locked caves, and I was like, wait a minute. I have both ends of swamp, and I have a staff cave still. So I was like, there's still at least one more cave out there. And I was like, well, crap, I have Tablet too. So kind of glad that Tablet never came into play.
Yeah, I was hoping you would find it later. Like, you know, I just kept hoping you'd see it because Tablet Cave was gold. And you could have gotten the free gold chest right at the start.
Oh, that's brutal, especially with the amount of attempts I tried to get that daggone gold chest out of the grave.
Yeah, I guess, quote, good news was that just Chris wasn't able to find it either until after he got the hand axe. So there wasn't any massive disadvantage. Although he did get the hand axe first. He also died trying to get out of Grave. Grave was a trap. The enemy set in there was just pretty lethal. With both reds and then Goldman with Hurtmore. But he had a little bit of a lead there for a while, but you were a bit harder on the that grind. I mean, was it to level 10 just in zone 2 enemies?
Yeah, I pushed out once before that. That's when I saw whatever the heck was that Stones Cave with the stones where Blue Dragon killed me just short of it. That was the only time I pushed out. I was like, I'm just going to sit here on this grind. There was literally no survivability other than that. You know, we had decent attack power, but you know, there was no heal. There was no spells. The spells were so late.
Indeed, it was pretty funny. We were like, oh yeah, you get double digits MP increase, so you can cast more returns and repels.
Yeah, every time I was leaving the castle, I was like, use return, you moron. You ain't using this MP for anything else. But yeah, other than that, I was like, I want something that's going to allow me to live. As soon as heal came, that's when I went out. I think my favorite thing was, I think that was a level 10 kill on the golem when I went southwest the first time officially, and you know, he stop spelled me missed the round stop spell, and he never punched once.
Yeah, Shahali had thrown the golem up there a little while ago. 75% for both Hurtmore and stop spell. So that was, I think that was the key trigger for the race, because even though both of you, I would say you guys were very even in experience up to you know, getting the first golem, and then the 2 other ones in Hawksness really shifted the nature of the race. Chris was able to get north to Garenham a little bit faster, and then was just kind of grinding in the northern side, the north zone 2, while you were in the south zone 2. And he also got to keys. Well, he got in the area to keys quicker because he went up just a little bit and saw Cole, where you died, I think, without seeing that, or before Rim, and so his exploration was more focused on there. But yeah, the big gap here at the end was kind of just, and I'm saying this for partially for Chris's benefit, but oh yeah, that's right. Stupid werewolf triple run block outside of Cole. And I think you tried to out-heal it, and it just wasn't going to happen. That would have definitely changed some things, too. But at the end, it was just the fact that even though you had explored that whole northeast area and it wasn't the most useful Like, obviously finding Rim would have been faster and better than that. You knew exactly where to go, and you guys got keys. You were in Rim 5 seconds apart.
That's kind of crazy. That's pretty funny too. But I just saw that stat for the Red Dragon come up. 5 out of 16 stop spell resist, Tom. I had missed 1 stop spell the entire time I grinded them, except for that one Red Dragon. I missed 3 in a row, and it made me question my sanity. But other than that, I had literally only missed 1 other stop spell. That's some good RNG, I guess.
Yeah, I hadn't seen you miss an entire one, and then I made a comment, and then I saw you miss the 3 in a row. It's like, well, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that was kind of funny was, I'm so worried about sleepy red dragons, even though they were kind of neutered with the baby breath. In Sharlock, my first 3 enemies, all on the top zone or top floor, were red dragons that I run from the first one, I run from the second one immediately. The third one ambushes me, but then I run anyway. And then I never saw another one until obviously the spike, which went really well. So, Sharlock was pretty free outside that top zone, I guess.
Yeah, it was 3 red dragons in a row. It was great. And then somebody asked about scenarios, and I started talking about them, and by the time I was done, you were halfway through the basement floor. Like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, the rest of that Sharlock was just super free. Only got Stoneman, Werewolves, a Wizard, a Star Wyvern. Bottom had blue and green dragons and something else. I don't know. It was pretty trivial. I think I only got run block by each enemy that stopped me once, if they didn't stop me at all. But other than that, it went well. I got the fairy waters to account for maybe a half and to make up a swing or so. The game tried to tempt me with a 50 and a 49 HP, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm healmoring on those, which I found humorous.
Yeah, you would have survived the 50, but the 49, I did definitely see you get hit for 50 right after healmoring on that one.
Yeah, I laughed as soon as he hit me for 50 after I healed on the 49. That was golden. But I was like, I don't have to risk this. It was the first one was early, and the second one I was already in pretty decent shape. So, but anyway, I appreciate you guys getting this on tonight. I know it's been a little tough to get the official restreams going here during group stage. Hopefully, we'll be in a better position once the brackets start up. But GG's to Chris. Good luck on any other races. I can't remember where anybody's at as far as who still has to race what in any of my groups, including mine. So I know I have one more race.
Yes, this was just Chris's last race in the tournament. You did technically knock him out, so I don't know if you're gonna feel bad about that, but thank you very much for joining the tournament. You've played extraordinarily well in this tournament, Just Chris, and just one small thing, and might have beaten Archfield. This race, again, we're hanging into it until the map kind of got you. Very competitive, and we're excited to see you here, and hopefully we see you again. But also, GG's to you, DK. As we mentioned, this doesn't actually clinch you a playoff spot yet. It actually depends just as much on the other race, which is ongoing right now, which I won't spoil. But definitely puts you in a good position. And also, I do want to, in response to what you said, thank Hoodie and Shahali for volunteering, both pretty late. I was probably about 40% to just do it myself, if no one did. But thankfully for everyone watching and listening, that didn't happen. But on that note, I am trying to restream as many of these as I can this week. So if you are in the audience and you want to help, please feel free to volunteer. If you're not sure what to do, commentary or tracking, we will do what we can to help you. But we have a dearth of restreaming volunteers on all levels, and I think we got off to a bad start, and everyone has kind of done their own thing. So I'd like to get these going, especially just heading into the tournament, so the people who aren't in the Discord, the people who aren't following along in everybody's different race rooms and stuff, has some idea what's going on. All right, on that note, I think we'll go ahead and raid MX Pav, who is restreaming the newest race, which is Scarlet Shadow and Rye Guy. That one could be for potentially for first place in that group. Although Pav still has something to say about that. Rye Guy's last race, undefeated currently. There are 2 races going on in Tilo's chat or channel. I'm gonna go ahead and rate Pav since it's a new race, but if you want to watch one of the 2 races that's going on right now, which I believe is Darren versus Archfield and Adam Raptors versus Destiny, maybe. I'm not 100% sure if that one's being restreamed or not because Adam Raptors has had some streaming issues recently, but I think I've talked enough. Hoodie, do you want to take us out?
All right. For this DWR Summer Tournament broadcast, Aaron2U2 was your rebroadcaster. Shahali did all that wonderful tracking. Aaron2U2 also did commentary. I have been Hoodie Two Shoes. We thank you so much for being here, and we're going to send you off to that race that Aaron told you about on Pav's channel. Take care.